Yo Milan, remember when you made the pseudo slotting tutorial?
Yeah, what about it?
Well, in that video you kind of promised that you would make another video applying those techniques to normal F2L. And you never did.
Well, let's do it right now then.
Yo! The pseudo slotting tutorial I made a while ago is my most watched video by far. It's probably also the video I spent most time editing and making. My god, it took long to make. And although the concept of pseudo F2L is super cool, the learning curve is really steep, since you're changing how you solve F2L entirely. And pseudo F2L does come with some disadvantages, like keeping track of your D layer. But worst of all, your look ahead gets fully destroyed. But in this video, I will teach you 3 pseudo techniques you can apply to your normal F2L, without any of the disadvantages. Well, at least minimizing them. So let's jump right into it. Well, actually, before we get into the video, if you don't know anything about pseudo slotting yet, please watch my previous video first, because you will not understand anything of the video right now. So the first technique I'll teach you is an extension of the multi-slotting trick of the previous video. Now, to quickly recap, when we come to the last 2 pairs in a solve, and we can see that an edge is solved in one slot, and the corner in the other one, we can just bring the unsolved pieces together and solve the remaining 2 pieces as if we would with a normal pair. Bring back the D layer and whoop! Now the problem with this trick is that you do not often get this case. Let's be real, you almost never get it, right? But we can force to get a case like this. What we can do instead is when we come to the last 2 pairs in a solve, and either one edge or a corner is solved in the last 2 pairs, which will happen actually quite regularly. So for example, in this case, we have one edge solved. Now we don't have the case that we had previously, but what we can do here, for example, is just insert the corner of the other pair, like so. And then we have forced the multi-slotting case. So now we can just go ahead and solve it using pseudo slotting. So once again, bring the unsolved pieces together, make a pair, insert it. Just make sure that when you do this, you have a corner and an edge solved. So don't be doing stuff like inserting 2 corners, because that won't help you anywhere. So for example, we have a corner solved, insert the edge. And we have forced the case. The reason you should do this is that on average, it is going to be more optimal to do it this way than if you would do it normally. But not always though. For example, when we have an edge solved in one slot, and the corner of the other pair is facing upwards, now what we can do in a case like this is insert the corner like so. But that's quite a few moves, and it's not going to be optimal. You can still do it, but it might just be better to solve the 2 pairs normally in a case like that. Now another case where you probably shouldn't do this is when the 2 pieces you're looking for are in the same slot. For example, we have this edge solved right here, but the corner we're looking for is in the same slot. What we could do is take the corner out like so, and then insert it back. But that is quite a few moves, and you're probably better off solving the 2 pairs as you would normally. But hey, you're the master of your own life, so go ahead and do whatever you want to do. Now, if you do this a couple of times in solves, you will get used to it pretty quickly. And it's also really dope to apply pseudo slotting more often in your solves, right? Up to the second technique, which is something you do while building the cross rather than at the end of your F2L. Now, if you remember from the previous video, one of the benefits of pseudo slotting is that you can make really difficult F2L cases easier. Now the reason we can do this is because we're constantly adjusting the D layer in pseudo slotting, something you don't often do in normal F2L. But there is a step in CFOP where we do adjust the D layer really often. Can you guess which step? Yeah, of course you know, because I said it like 5 seconds ago. Good one, Milan. So yeah, it will happen really often where you first make the cross and then align it at the end. And we can take advantage of this, just in the same way we would make easier cases in pseudo F2L. I'll give you an example. So for this cross, there's already 2 pieces solved relative to each other, and we only have to insert the blue and the red one. If we bring blue down, you can see that this pair is made. Now this is not the best pair, to be honest, like it's quite a few moves if you do it regularly. But right now we can actually solve it as a pseudo pair, in that the D layer is not aligned yet. So what we can do is just insert the edge, like so, and cancel into inserting the corner in the back, like so, because the slot of the corner was behind. Then we can just bring it back. Now this is a really fast way of making this pair. In a speed solve it would look something like so, which is way faster than the normal way, which we would do something like maybe so, which is a lot of moves. And because you needed to align the D layer at the end anyways, you can just take advantage of that and insert the pair like so. So yeah, next time you're making a cross and you can predict your first pair like this, try to solve it using pseudo slotting. There's actually quite a lot of cases where you can save a few moves if you insert the pair like so. I think it's best that you discover these cases yourself by just playing with it. Yeah, have fun. Now I left the most difficult and coolest trick for last, which is Pseudo X Crosses. which is basically a forced double X cross. What, double X cross? Now to explain this, I will first go over when we usually make an X cross using keyhole. So we'll often make X crosses using keyhole when we see that when we make the cross, a piece gets solved, for example an edge, and we can easily track the corner, for example right here. And then we insert it into the slot and then align the D layer. Now this should be really basic, right? Now with pseudo X crosses, it's kind of similar, except that it is big brain X crosses. Okay, that was really stupid. It is quite similar though to solving X crosses with keyhole. The difference is that with pseudo X crosses, you make sure you can already see that there will be an edge and a corner solved, opposed to only an edge or a corner with normal keyhole. For example, we have an edge solved right here and a corner right here. Let's suppose that you can easily see that in inspection. So what we can do right now is actually find the pieces that still need to be solved, which would be the blue-red edge and the orange and blue corner, which are both here and here. Now the way we solve these two is always in the slot of the edge piece, which is right here. So we make sure that the slots of the two pieces are aligned, which is already the case. And we can just solve it as a normal pair. And then we have a double X cross. So yeah, this last one is pretty hardcore, but it can be really cool if you master it. So go ahead and practice it. So these were 3 pseudo techniques you can apply to your normal F2L. I hope you learned at least something, you know, even if it's a little bit. If you liked the video, please like it. And if you want to see more of me, just subscribe. I would really appreciate that. Have you done it? No? That's fine. Alright, so have a wonderful day, and I guess I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.